What's up, everyone? I hope you had an awesome WrestleMania weekend. Two nights, two big events, and of course, the Hall of Fame on Friday with SmackDown, Raw on Monday. A big weekend of wrestling for us wrestling fans. I know I enjoyed it, so I hope you guys did too. Today, though, I'm going to take a look at a history of what I have for my WWF program magazines. I thought it'd be a fun look to see everything I've bought over the last few years, see how many guys are on the cover continuously, and I'm kind of curious to see how many, like what the total is of like how many Hogans are on the cover or how many Macho Man. So we're going to take a look here today at this for this video. So we start off with issue 101. This is the first one. Andre the Giant and the Superfly Jimmy Snuka on the cover. And of course for this one, I do have a program sheet. Okay, so that's kind of neat. The next one is issue 122 I have with Wyndham and Rotundo making tag team history. They just won the belts and going into WrestleMania 1 and no program sheet for that one. Issue 124, WrestleMania Aftermath, Hogan on the cover. This has all the like results, pictures and such from WrestleMania 1. So if you are a WrestleMania collector, definitely pick up this program magazine. You'll definitely want it because of everything they talk about of WrestleMania 1 inside this one. And no program sheet for that one. Issue 134, we got Jim the Anvil Neidhart on the cover in a solo photo. No Hart Foundation here, even though it says me and the Hitman take no prisoners. But we do get Jim in a very rare solo shot on a magazine cover because honestly, the Hart Foundation weren't on that many to begin with, but to have Jim on his own, that's kind of rare to see. And no program sheet. Issue 135, we got Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth on it with the Intercontinental title. He got it, the girl, the belt. What next? Time will tell for the Macho Man. No program sheet. Issue 136, the British Bulldogs with the WWF Tag Team title belts. These are the silver version of the belts, of course, that were around at the time. They beat the Dream Team at WrestleMania 2 to finally take home the tag team titles, and no program sheet for that one. Jake the Snake Roberts, issue 142. Snake's Alive. Jake with this pet Damien on the cover. I know there's no program sheet for this one because I just got this, yeah. Issue 143 now. The Dragon Breeze Fire. Steamboat is after Savage and that Intercontinental title. And we know there's no program sheet here. No. Issue 145. The Hart Foundation Tag Team title list. That's right, the Hart Foundation defeating the British Bulldogs on WWF Superstars of Wrestling in early 1987 to win the silver version of the tag team straps here. And of course, there's no program sheet for that one either. Now, the program sheets I do have are rare and few between, but I am kind of curious too to see which ones have them and which ones don't. Issue 146, right after the Hart Foundation one, we got Steamboat takes the belt, WrestleMania 3, Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage with maybe the greatest wrestling match of all time at WrestleMania, perhaps. It's up there. Definitely in the rankings. But yeah, Steamboat wins the Intercontinental title and no program sheet. Issue 147. We're having some in a row here. That's kind of neat. 147, we have Hercules, hated by Haynes. Of course, they had a blood feud with the Chain. If you go back, watch WWF Coliseum video, even more unusual matches, you will see a bloody chain match between Hercules and Billy Jack. Both men bled buckets. It was insane, but it was kind of cool to see back then. And of course, there's no program sheet. Issue 148. We got the Honky Tonk Man has the belt. That's right, Honky Tonk Man, the new Intercontinental Champion. Let me take a look here. The Steamboat one was issue 146. So we had Hercules in between, and already we have a new Intercontinental Champion in the Honky Tonk Man. So Steamboat did not hold that title belt long. And ironically, the only television title defense Steamboat had was on Saturday night's main event against Hercules. So that's kind of neat. Issue 149, Hulk Hogan all fired up with the WWF title. By the way, no program sheet for Honky. Hogan here. Now, I think Hogan has a program sheet. He does. So this program sheet is from July 11th, 1987, Boston Garden one. So main event is Honky Tonk Man against Jake the Snake Roberts for the Intercontinental Championship. Greg the Hammer Valentine versus Brutus Beefcake. Rick Martel and Tom Zenk, the Can-Am Connection against the Islanders. Natural Butch Reed against Tito Santana. Dino Bravo against Scott Casey. One Man Gang against Corporal Kirshner. Jerry Allen against Cowboy Bob Orton. Paul Roma versus Shadow number 1. And Jim Powers versus Shadow number 2. So there we go. That's not too bad of a card, actually, that one. Issue 150. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, has now made his first program cover, but of course no sheet of paper on that one. Issue 151, Miss Elizabeth. She is Randy's Rock, and yes, she was. She was in Randy's corner for years until he got rid of her for Queen Sherry. No program sheet. Issue 153, Strike Force, Take the Belts. What a happy accident for Tito Santana here. This really should have been, as I said earlier on in that program sheet, I said the Can-Am Connection, right? Rick Martel and Tom Zenk. Tom Zenk left the WWF for some reason. I don't know why. Left Rick Martel high and dry. They put Tito Santana in as Rick's partner. Can-Am Connection was now gone, and Strike Force was now here, winning the tag team titles from the Hart Foundation in late 1987. No program sheet. Issue 155, Randy Savage, Macho Madness runs rampant. Yes, Macho Man is now a good guy. Shook the hands with Hulk Hogan on a Saturday Night's Main Event in September of 87, forming the Mega Powers. And he was ready to take the Intercontinental title off Honky Tonk Man or win that WWF title at WrestleMania 4. And that's exactly what he did. No program sheet. Issue 156 now. We got the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, heading for the top. Bam Bam, of course, just brought into the WWF. Huge babyface, teaming up with Hulk Hogan, wrestling the likes of the $1 Million Man and Andre the Giant on house show loops. So big plans for Bam Bam during this time frame. And I just always love that magazine cover here. It looks so cool. No program sheet. Issue 158, Hacksaw Jim Duggan challenging a Giant. Hacksaw's big push was in during this time frame to wrestle Andre the Giant on main event house shows, and usually it was lumberjack matches and such, but it was always entertaining. And Hacksaw, a lot of trust was in Hacksaw by Vince here to have him work a main event program with Andre the Giant, and no program sheet. Issue 160, we got Jake the Snake Roberts, Master of Damien and the DDT, doing a weird chin lock move to an enhancement talent here. They could have probably gotten a better looking magazine cover. Oh well. No program sheet. Like I said, the program sheets are going to be few and far between, but it's going to be interesting to see the matches on them when they do pop up. Issue 164, Elizabeth, First Lady of the Ring. We see Miss Liz on the cover once again for a program, and no program sheet. Issue 167, Macho Man Randy Savage ready for WrestleMania 5. Looking good in all green there. The WWF Championship belt looks so sweet around the Macho Man's waist. Let's take a look here. We have a program sheet. This one again from the Boston Garden, February 11th, 1989. We get Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Ultimate Warrior in a title for title match. We got Big John Studd versus Akeem. We have Tito Santana going one-on-one with Ravishing Rick Rude. The Bushwhackers against the Fabulous Rougeau brothers. Rick Martel versus Bad News Brown. Coco Beware versus Boris Zukov. Paul Roma versus Outlaw Ron Bass. And Jim Powers against Iron Mike Sharp. So not bad show. Not a bad. You got a WrestleMania 5 match and the Bushwhackers and the Rougeaus. Yeah, that's probably about it. All the other matches were all random matches, so that's not too bad. The Warrior and Savage is kind of neat. Title versus title. Issue 168. WWF Champion Hulk Hogan, the rightful owner, takes the belt. That was at WrestleMania 5, of course, when the Mega Powers exploded at Trump Plaza. And we have a program sheet here. We have, for the main event for the Intercontinental Championship at the Joyce Athletic and Convocation Center in Notre Dame. Okay, wow, that must have been I don't even know where that would be at, that arena. Rick Rude versus the Ultimate Warrior in Intercontinental title match. Rude, of course, the champion here. Warrior, the challenger. We got, Superfly Jimmy Snuka versus the Honky Tonk Man. I knew that match took place. I was trying to think, I wanted to think, who did Snuka work with in programs? And it was mainly the Honky Tonk Man in 1989. That's so weird that was the main go-to for Snuka, was Honky. We get the tag title match, Demolition Axe Smash versus the Twin Towers, Akeem and the Big Boss Man. Tito Santana one-on-one with his former tag team partner Rick Martel. Jim the Anvil Neidhart against the Barbarian in a power versus power match. And Jim Powers versus the Genius at this one. Not too bad. Issue 169, Brutus the Barber Beefcake strutting to Savage and Sherry. Beefcake looking good in those zebra tights, always did. No program sheet. Ronnie Garvin rules the ring, issue 173. I know there's no program sheet for that one because I just got that magazine. So, issue 176, Brutus the Barber Beefcake out to remodel Rick Martel. I'm pretty sure they only wrestled at house show loops. I don't think that was ever a TV thing, and no program for that. Superfly Jimmy Snuka on issue 177. He's back, like I said, feuding with the likes of the Honky Tonk Man. And after that, he had his match with Rick Rude at WrestleMania 6. He had his match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 7. I mean, Jimmy Snuka really didn't do a lot in his second run with the company. And I know there's no program sheet. Big Boss Man, DiBiase's dollars will not buy him for issue 181. Big Boss Man just turning good here. He was the Twin Towers were no more. Let me reword that. That's probably in bad taste. The Big Boss Man and Akeem were no more as a tag team. And Big Boss Man's getting ready to be a big-time babyface on the side of Hulk Hogan to help him out in the months to come in 1990. And we have a program sheet. Oh, wow. Here we go. July 21st, 1990 at the Exhibition Park in Vancouver, British Columbia. We get a main event for the WWF Championship, the Ultimate Warrior, the champion versus challenger, Ravishing Rick Rude. The Big Boss Man versus the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. The Bushwhackers against Rhythm and Blues. Nikolai Volkov one-on-one with his former partner, Boris Zukov. Coco Beware versus the Genius. Paul Roma versus Paul Diamond, the Battle of the Pauls. And Shane Douglas one-on-one with Black Bart. So there we go. We have a program sheet for that one. Nice. Volume, issue 182, Hulk Hogan, the man, the legend. Got a good shot of the Hulkster on the cover. Is there a program sheet? No, there's not. Issue 183, Tugboat, Full Steam Ahead. For that one, no program sheet for that. I already know that. Issue 185, the Legion of Doom, the new Doomsday Weapons. That's right, Animal and Hawk, the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom in the WWF now. And no program sheet for that one of the LOD. Issue 186, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Total War with Sergeant Slaughter. That's right, the Sarge is back in the WWF, but he's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. He's with Iraq. He's turned his back on the red, white, and blue of the USA. So good old Hacksaw Jim Duggan went to war with Sergeant Slaughter for a brief time to try to avenge USA. He couldn't get it done. Luckily, Hulk Hogan did. A month or so later. No program sheet for that one. Volume 188, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith on the cover of this one. This one is very important because, yes, there is a program sheet, and it is super important, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. Just let me have a quick drink of water here. All right. This is kind of cool, and you might not think it's cool, but trust me, once I tell you why, it's cool. Here we go. World Wrestling Federation, Saturday, February 16th, 1991, from the London Gardens in London, Ontario, Canada. The main event is the Ultimate Warrior versus the Macho King Randy Savage, or is it? It's not. It's Macho Man Randy Savage's manager, Sensational Queen Sherry, managing Sergeant Slaughter against the Ultimate Warrior in a WWF title match. Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus General Adnan. Jake the Snake Roberts against the model Rick Martel. The Hart Foundation against Powers and Glory for the WWF Tag Team titles. Tugboat against The Undertaker. Superfly Jimmy Snuka against the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. The Bushwhackers against Demolition? No, it was Luke from the Bushwhackers against Crush from Demolition. Coco Beware versus the Barbarian, and the Brooklyn Brawler versus Virgil. Now, why is this so important, you're probably wondering. It's not even that great of of a house show, right? It's not even that great for matches. They're okay. Well, here's the catch. If you go to the WWE Vault on YouTube, you can actually see this entire event. It was recorded. It was taped. It was filmed. It's there in full. Some of the matches have commentary, some do not. But the entire event is there as far as I know. And my buddy Zeke Zanzibar was at this show when it aired, like when it happened live in 1991. He went there. It was a birthday gift. His birthday's in February, so it was like it was an early birthday gift to go to this wrestling show. And he remembered something in the main event. He goes, I'm pretty sure the Ultimate Warrior chases Queen Sherry and like rips off her dress or something. And he did. Like he remembered it. So if you want to see this event, go to the WWE Vault YouTube channel and look it up. Either scroll back till you find it or type in the date of the show or something. It will come up and you can watch this event. So that's kind of cool. No, I went to a few house shows and not one did I ever see on, well, of course, the house show I went to Saturday night, 1994 in November, a few days after Survivor Series, I got to see Lex Luger defeat Tatanka in the main event in London, Ontario at the London Gardens. The same damn night, Madison Square Garden gets to see Big Daddy Cool Diesel win the WWF Championship from Mr. Bob Backlund. I feel I got ripped off. I like Lex and Tatanka, don't get me wrong, but the New Yorkers got to see Diesel win the championship live and in person. I got Sexy Alexi versus Tatanka. That, to me, unfair. All right, thus ends my rant. Okay, here we go. Issue 189 now. Jake the Snake Roberts. His eyes are on the model. Yes, well, I should say eye, because the one eye was blind, right? No program sheet. Issue 190, Ultimate Warrior, the Ultimate Victor. We're talking about career versus career at WrestleMania 7. Macho King and the Warrior, 20 minutes of an amazing match. Whoever produced it, well done. And it was a really entertaining match. We have a program sheet here, but this doesn't make any sense. The program sheet makes no sense. It's from February 8th, 1991. So, yes, the main event match here is Ultimate Warrior versus Macho King Randy Savage in a steel cage. My guess is that guy put the program sheet with this magazine because of that match. Because this WrestleMania 7 happened like 6 weeks after this match. So it's impossible, unless there's some time traveling shit here going on that I don't know about, but it's impossible for that to be. So I think he just put the sheet with this because of the Warrior and Savage being on the cover. Anyways, Warrior versus Macho King in a steel cage, the main event. Intercontinental title match, Mr. Perfect against Roddy Piper. Sergeant Slaughter, WWF champion against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. The Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Mario Jannetty against Demolition, Smash and Crush. Tugboat 1-on-1 with The Undertaker. The Bushwhackers against the Nasty Boys. British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith against Dino Bravo. And Shane Douglas versus the Mountie. So there we go. WWF Program Magazine here, issue 207 with the British Bulldog and the Intercontinental title on it. That belt looks sweet. Of course, Bulldog, I really thought was going to win that belt at SummerSlam 91. Because from June through August on house show loops, it was Bulldog and Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental title all the time. And then Brett got the title shot at SummerSlam out of nowhere. And what did Bulldog get? Another pay-per-view match with the Warlord. Now, if you don't believe me, listen to this. Royal Rumble 91, Bulldog and Warlord are in the pay-per-view, or in the Rumble together, right? They interact, they're in there. WrestleMania 7, British Bulldog wrestles the Warlord at that event and beats him with the Power Slam, 1, 2, 3. SummerSlam 91, you got Power and Glory and the Warlord against the Texas Tornado, the Dragon, and the British Bulldog. Survivor Series 91, you got Nature Boy Ric Flair as a team captain with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the Mountie, and the Warlord against Roddy Piper team captain with Virgil, Intercontinental Champion Bret Hitman Hart, and the British Bulldog. And then to top this, a week later at Tuesday in Texas pay-per-view in a one-on-one match, you got the British Bulldog versus the Warlord. Man, Vince McMahon loved that feud in 1991 for some reason. And thankfully in 1992, we did get to see an Intercontinental title reign for the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. No program sheet for that, of course. And of course, Tatanka here in issue 211 here. Tatanka, bravest of the Braves. He had that awesome 1.5 year undefeated streak. Still to this day, I don't think anyone has beat that. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that record still holds. So Tatanka on that issue. Issue 218, Ludwig Borga. His claim to fame, of course, was coming over from Helsinki, Finland, and hating the United States of America and hating Lex Luger. And after seeing the Dark Side of the Ring video of him, like the show of him, Ludwig Vorg is kind of messed up in the head to begin with, right? The person he was. So yeah, he's lucky to have that short career in the WWF. Program 224 now, we see Big Daddy Cool Diesel and Doink the Clown on the cover. This is when the magazine started doing 2 photos for some reason on the program covers. Not really a fan. They're also $5 now, I see in the corner. $5. So the last one, Ludwig was $5. Let me see, when did they go up in price? Tatanka was $5. Bulldog was $5. Warrior and Savage on the cover here, $3. So they went up 3 to 5 for some ungodly reason. Who knows? This cover here, Shawn Michaels, cocky, confident, and co-champion, with Diesel as tag champs, and of course British Bulldog unleashed for attack. Bulldog returning at SummerSlam to help his brother-in-law Bret Hart defeat Owen Hart, and had that big feud with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I mean, people can diss the Bloodline feud all they want. Our generation sat through the Hart feud. This started in 1992 at SummerSlam. It went to Survivor Series 97. Whether they were feuding with each other, or tagging with each other, turning on each other, we saw a lot of Hart Foundation, Hart family stuff go down in those 5-6 years, right? So, but I didn't mind it. I loved the Harts, so it was good. I liked it. I also think this was the program that was at my house show that I went to with Lex versus Tatanka, because I know the issue right after this has Diesel with the WWF title saying new champion. So this has to be the one that would have been at the event I was at. I didn't buy it, of course, because I'm an idiot. I remember I bought Bret Hitman Hart sunglasses and a cassette tape at the time of theme music. I remember it had Lex Luger's Hero song, I'll Be Your Hero, on it. It had Doink the Clown. It had Mr. Perfect. I think it had Smoking Guns and Men on a Mission, I think. I don't know, but it was, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have bought the program, but oh well. And I should have caught the program sheet too. I'm fucking dumb not doing that shit. No program sheet on that one. Of course, during this era now, they stopped putting out actual programs. You could have bought this magazine at your local variety store at the time. It was just a raw magazine issue from November, December 97. Of course, it has $4 on it where the barcode should be. So that's all they did there. I'm going to say, yeah, no program sheet. Again, WWF magazine, same deal. This is the May 98 one with The Undertaker on the cover. $5 for this one. No program sheet. DX Declares War, July 1998. Again, same deal. $5 for this one, and no program sheet. Breakout with Sable on the cover here, August 1998, $5, and we have a program sheet on this one. I knew that. Wow, I do know that. There we go. This was from August 1st, 1998, Skydome, Toronto, Canada. Look at this show. Wow, we got main event triple threat match for the championship, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker versus Kane. We got an Intercontinental title match with The Rock versus Triple H. A submission rules match, Ken Shamrock against the Blackheart Owen Hart. A New Age Outlaws against Mark Henry and the Godfather of the Nation. A No Holds Barred Falls Count Anywhere match between Terry Funk and Mankind. X-Pac against Double J Jeff Jarrett. The Light Heavyweight Championship match between Taka Michinoku and Scott Too Hot Taylor. Too Cold Scorpio against Tiger Ali Singh. Val Venus one-on-one with Kurgan. And Edge against Pierre from the Quebecers. That's a pretty solid show there from the Skydome. So that's not too bad. And last but not least, hello, ladies. Val Venus on the cover here, November 98 of a program, $5 each. Yeah. So now, with that being said, these programs here, I often flirted with the idea of selling them because they are the same as the magazine covers. Why do I keep them? What's the point, right? I don't know. But what's the point of selling them either? Like, I'm probably going to get like $5 for them. Honestly, magazines nowadays, I feel like I've seen them go down on eBay a lot now. I see the prices are dropping, which is nice. I also see the idiots who are putting them on there still for way too high and having them sit there forever. So, you know, like normal magazine. I'm talking like magazines, like something like, I don't know, let me see here. I got to find something that's like, okay. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Well, it could be like maybe $30 now on eBay at times. It's like, why? Just because it's old doesn't mean it's worth anything. Remember that, people. These are old wrestling magazines that only a certain amount of people want to collect, and they're only collecting them because it's just something fun to do, and that's what they collect. I'm definitely not collecting these to retire at age 60, sell them, and make a whole bunch of money and move somewhere. No, that's not going to effing happen. There's no way. These are not worth anything, And but some people think they are. God bless them. But to us collectors who just want to collect, they're just fun to have. I love them. They're just fun to have. So this is my episode of the programs. I think the most I have was probably Hulk Hogan. I want to say. I think he was on the cover the most. Macho Man Randy Savage second, for sure. And Jake the Snake probably coming in a third, which is insane to think. But yeah, that would probably be it. Still a lot more programs I want to get. There's ones out there with Tito Santana with the Intercontinental title, Greg Valentine with the Intercontinental title, Sheik and Volkov with the tag titles. British Bulldogs are on the cover of one. Hogan with the heavyweight title. A few of those ones are out there. Some of the newer ones with Shawn with the Intercontinental title, or Diesel with the heavyweight title, Razor with the Intercontinental title. Some of those are just way too much money. I don't know why. Just stop, people. They're not going to sell them. They've been on eBay for like 2 years now. They're not selling. You want to know why? Because no one wants to pay $150 for a WWF program magazine with Diesel on the cover with the WWF title. Okay, $150. If you don't believe, honestly, if you're on whatever, if you're in the US or in Canada or even UK, I think you probably find it. Try to look up the eBay Canada stuff and try to find the WWF program magazine with Diesel on the cover. If it's still there, it should still be. It was $150. And there's a Razor Ramon with the Intercontinental title. It's like $50. Like, that's just no. That's ridiculous. I don't get it, but whatever. So yeah, this is what I have so far. Not too shabby for someone who didn't really want to collect these to begin with. I went down a rabbit hole and I got quite a few now, so I'm pretty happy about that. Probably more to come as time goes on. If the price is right, I will get them and add them to the collection. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you had any of these program magazines, or if you still do, or if you plan on collecting them. They are kind of neat. Especially you get some guys on the cover that you normally wouldn't get on the cover of a WWF magazine back then too, so that's kind of cool. All right, guys, until I do my next one, I'll talk to you later.